Monday night. I have been outside planting the herbs earlier, and the week is getting away from me and I wanted to get my meal planning done. So I am going to include you guys on my meal prep, and let's go from there. Got bell peppers, beets. So I think that's Swiss chard. It's red chard actually. This is leeks, organic leeks. I thought they were huge. At least they have a lot of white on them. Regular cabbage, 2 kinds of kale, dinosaur kale and curly leaf kale, I think. We've got some, bok choy. I'm still learning these. And Napa cabbage. This one, of course, is celery. So what I'm gonna do is chop all of this stuff up, put it in containers so that when I go and make the meals for the menu through the week, I don't have to stop and prep everything. So I'm not actually doing any dishes right now. I'm just prepping all my vegetables so that I can have them ready to reach and grab and use. I've made my menu this week out of this cookbook, Give Them Something Better. It's plant-based, vegan, and what we'll be eating this week is inspired from this, but it's fajitas, pancit we'll be having, which I'm really excited for this because I really like pancit. Mac and cheese with steamed broccoli and the cucumber, tomato, avocado salad, and the Mexican lasagna. I have leftover split pea soup from this last weekend, so I'll be freezing most of that, but we will be having some of that this week as well. Now these beets I'm going to shred them to add to salads. I really like them in salads. The greens don't look that great, so I'm not going to worry about using them. Also, I'm going to wash these because I want to see if I can grate them with the skin on so that there's added fiber. I'm going to stain up my cutting board, but oh well, it'll come off, I'm sure, eventually. Now that I've washed those, and you have to be really careful because chunks of mud will come off, and you don't want to eat that, obviously. So let's see how well this will work. I don't have the regular A-frame shredder. I'm going to see if this works okay. That's going to be slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the time and chop them. So I did 3 beets. I think I'm going to stop there. I did cut the top and bottom of a 4th beet, but I'll just put that in the fridge and use it differently. Now for my free peppers. And these will go in the fajitas and scrambled tofu, etc. Pancit, whatever else. I may just add it because I like pepper. Okay, I did some for fajitas and I did some just to put in different dishes. So I just, it's good to know what kind of meals you're planning for the week so you know kind of how to prepare your vegetables, because each recipe may call for something a little bit different in the way that you cut them up. Just your preference though. You go ahead and cut up an onion because the pancit recipe calls for it and the fajita recipe calls for it. So I will just cut them up in a similar way, not differentiating between diced and sliced. I'll just probably do 1 onion for now, and if I feel like I need more later, then I'll cut another one later. But at least I'll have one done for one meal and determine if I need to do more later. This is the part I hate about onions. I always hate feeling like I'm gonna fall off the edge on that last cut. So what I could figure I could do, a different way I could cut this, instead of feeling like I'm gonna fall off the edge with the whole onion here when I'm cutting it, I cut it in half, laid it this way, or actually this way, and continued cutting. And because it's on a flat surface on the bottom, it's more stabilized, so that makes me feel a bit better. And then I will take it and do the crossings. Maybe you already know that, but I just thought about it and it is helpful to me. So now we're at the celery. I am just gonna prepare this celery like I would for any kind of soup or anything. I'm not cutting it, I'm just gonna slice it because I don't really have a burden to make it long and stringy or anything for the recipes. So I'm just gonna probably just cut it small, because personally I don't, and this isn't as small as I probably should have cut it, but I don't like the cooked celery taste. I like it better raw. As far as the bok choy goes, I'm going to go ahead and cut up the whole head because I want to use the whole head this week. My goal is to get more dark greens into our meals, so I'm going to start by just chopping off the end and separating it. I'm going to go and wash it now. I'm about to wash this Napa cabbage. It's been in the back of my refrigerator and has gotten a little bit frozen, a little cold damage. Hopefully it's not all the way through, but thankfully I'm using it now, getting it prepped now, because I probably would have lost most of it, so I'm going to wash it. I pulled off the outer leaves and some of the cold got down a bit far, so I will cut around those places on the bigger leaves. But what I've done with this, I've cut off the end, and I'm just going to cut the whole thing in half. Oh, that doesn't have much of a base to it, so I don't have to cut off much. I'm just going to take it and slice it. Okay, I've got the chard here. You know, I'm not used to using chard, so this is new for me. So I'm just gonna cut it up like a salad green. And if I cook it, I cook it, and if I eat it raw, I eat it raw. So that's how I'm approaching this. Here with the dino kale, it's pretty droopy looking, but I'll cut it up and probably use it, I don't know, I probably will use it in salad and in stir fry, but I need to go ahead and get it eaten up, so whichever comes first is what I'll use it for. I'm not going to worry about the stems on this. Usually I would probably chop it up real fine, but because they tend to be tough, and less pleasant. But okay, so this is the regular kale, and again, I'm going to take out stems at least up to a certain point because they're so tough. Get the other green part off of it because it's usable, and just cut them up. This is good in salad, although it's very strong, so I would put this in cooking dishes unless you're used to that taste and like it. So here are the leeks. It looks like they've kind of aged a little bit in the fridge, but I think they'll be okay. I'm going to go ahead and cut them off at their places, the unusable parts. All the more reason I need to get these used. And I'm going to go get them washed. I'm going to cut them in half because it'll be easier to get through the layers. But I will. It's important to wash these thoroughly because dirt gets trapped in between the layers. You can see they're really dirty. So I just cut it part way down so that I can get them washed. Okay, so they're washed. What I do to show you why I cut them like that toward the end is I run them under the water and do this with them, and that pretty much gets them clean. I don't worry about cutting it all the way down because this is the area that was closer to the end of it and less likely to have dirt. Just peeled that off because it doesn't look that great. And I'm going to finish cutting it this way and then just slicing them. I really love these leeks because I mean, they're essentially a big onion, but I love the flavor of them. See, I didn't get that all the way clean there, so let me wash it. Alright, so now for the regular green cabbage. I've already washed it. I peeled off one of the leaves that didn't look so great, but that little bit of stuff, it's not coming off. I'm not worried about it. Take it off if you want, but I'm not worried about it. I like the dark leaves myself. So I am just going to basically shred this so that I can put it either in salad or the pancit or whatever else. And go from there. Take the core out. Okay, so I've got a couple of packages of zucchini and squash. Looks like they're needing to be eaten, so I'm going to go ahead and cut them up. Probably randomly add them to whatever dishes because vegetables are so versatile, or vegetable dishes are. So I will do that next. Okay, so here's the zucchini. I have an issue with my refrigerator. You can see how the cold has gotten to this. In the back of my refrigerator, it freezes, and I have adjusted the temperature once, and I guess I need to adjust it again because I have to keep watching where I put the produce, especially greens, in the fridge. So hopefully I can get that remedied. Alright, all of that is done. I have it all bagged up in the refrigerator. Makes me feel so good and organized. I can see what I have I don't have to be burdened with knowing that I have to chop a bunch of stuff up for a meal. And I think that's going to make all the difference in the world for me. I am tired now. I'm going to go to bed and I will catch you tomorrow.